since I have not voted. If I could, Administrator Guzman, it's good to see you again. Thank you for your leadership of the agency. We've talked in the past about SCORE. I'm fond of SCORE not just because it was founded in Delaware, but because in 2023, 10,000 volunteer mentors helped launch over 30,000 new businesses and create 20,000 non-owner jobs. I think that's fairly high performance. I think they do a lot with a little. So I was very disappointed to see SCORE cut by 40% in the president's budget request, and I will continue supporting a robust appropriation for SCORE. Help me understand the decision to deprioritize SCORE that aggressively.
SBA's efforts in the past few years, which has paid off with increased lending in underserved communities, has been about expanding the distribution networks across our lending and as well across our resource partner networks. We know that our resource partners do an incredible job of meeting small businesses, serving them. However, they're not reaching enough. We have about 500,000 reached through our resource partners, about 500,000 through our field offices. There are 33 million small businesses, and I consistently meet with small business owners who just need additional touch points, trusted local partners. Our effort is to try to incentivize the local development of entrepreneurial ecosystems by funding networks who can go out and seek additional funding as well, like the SBDCs do, like the WBCs do, et cetera. So this is really an attempt to manage to limited resources across the SBA, but to try to continue to incentivize new entrepreneurial networks that can truly reach out and meet some of these underserved entrepreneurs.
I'm sorry, I didn't understand what that meant at all. You're
well,
trying to incentivize new entrepreneurial networks, but you didn't.
Correct, like the Community Navigator pilot program. So just to be
don't
more clear about it.
Funded at all.
We requested for additional funding in this budget, which is why you saw some other programs reduced. And we're hoping to incentivize the development of more strong entrepreneurial ecosystems, and the navigators can.
So what you're describing is your view of the value of Community Navigator.
Sorry, yes.
Rather than any negativity about SCORE.
No, not at all. I'm sorry. We were sort of continuing off a previous answer.
My apologies.
You were
I
not
was in
here.
another
Apologies.
hearing, unavoidably. I just introduced with Senator Kennedy the Small Business Contracting Transparency Act. Congress has enacted requirements that a certain percentage of federal contracts go to women-owned businesses, to service-disabled veteran-owned businesses, to businesses that are small but in economically distressed areas. And it seems that the federal government doesn't meet the benchmarks in those statutory commitments. And I'm hopeful that in working with you, we can get some technical assistance to make sure that this bill is actually providing constructive transparency on meeting commitments to these particular set-asides. I know, as you just said, that you share my commitment to supporting underrepresented entrepreneurs. What do you think are the most effective tools for doing so? And I think I just invited you to tell me why you're supporting Community Navigator.
Well, clearly we do, and one of our community navigators actually focused on contracting the U.S. Black Chamber, but truly we think that we need to simplify the process, and Vet Cert was a program that we adopted from the Veterans, or took over from the Veterans Administration to make sure that our veterans had access to these important set-asides and these programs. We are going to be streamlining all of our certifications in line with what we did for the veterans and the service-disabled veterans, and by doing so, hopefully increase the incentives and assure that we can have a more diversified base of contractors from which agencies can select.
Thank you, Administrator. Thank you, Madam Chair.
Thank you, Senator Coons. I'm going to turn it over to Senator Rosen and ask Senator Markey if he would take